To answer another question, what do I seal gas tanks with? And I use this product here. It's cream fuel tank liner. I have used this for several years. This is the Advanced Formula Resist Alcohol Fuel Boosters. Now, this has worked for me. That's all I'm going to say about the product. It's what I use. I've cleaned this tank really good. Had it in the electrolysis tank, and it's quite simple. I use an acid brush here. Just pour it in there. And like I say, the tank has been washed down with M.E.K. After I got it out of the electrolysis tank. I've not had any acid on this tank. I really don't like to use acid. It's really hard to neutralize acid. So if there is another option, then I usually don't choose acid. Now there is uses for it, and I will put 2 coats on this tank here. This is just the way I do it. I'm not saying it's the only way. These tanks here, I did put the plug in here. I have ran a tap through all of the holes. And the way I do it, I'm going to put 2 coats on it. I'll let it dry till tomorrow and put the other coat on it. The way I do this is, in order to seal the whole tank, what I do is, you see I'm taking that brush over yonder, and I'm not building it up very much, but I'm just coating the edge, the top edge up there where the gasket goes, just enough for a little fold over. That way you don't have a bare edge right there where your gasket sealer is at. I kind of, and you're not sealing the complete gasket area either. Now it's just the way I do it. I found that this works really good. It's not complicated either. Just the material itself in my world is kind of pricey. In your world it may not be, but you know, it's a little pricey for me, but I think it's needed enough to warrant using it. You know, I think it's worth spending the money to do this. On to the top of this Maytag gas tank. And I'm going to just encapsulate these bolts, washers, in this cream. And this tank here, it's really surprising, this top. It's really surprising how well it cleaned up, because it was kind of bad. But that electrolysis has proved, it has actually proved to be it's definitely a work saver. It's proved itself to be an asset here in my shop. And I will just go ahead and do this. I'm going to put 2 coats on this top also. And you don't want a big puddle build up. But same applies here. I'm just going to make a little overlap. Not only about half, not even half. And you don't want it very thick either. And doing it this way, it is quite easy to, if you need to disassemble the engine for any reason, to take the tank loose from the top, or maybe a check valve replace, then this is definitely the way to do it. That way you can break the tank in half at the gasket line, fix whatever it is, and then put it back together. There are other brands on the market. You know, try something. I'm still out. All of the results is not in on this new gasoline that we're dealing with. I hear that some people's having problems with it. It's really not been a problem for me as of yet. But you know, it's the way you store your engines, where you store them, the humidity. You know, if you throw your engines out there in an old barn, or you're going to have different results than if you have a enclosed storage area. I'm still out on that. And you do coat this thing all around. Don't miss none of it, because the part that you miss will rust. When you're down in there and fooling around in that little hole down in there, don't forget that they are a little gap on the side of that venturi, that little, do not forget that and get it stopped up. But anyway, you see, we're done with that. I do have the 2 coats example of the way it dries. Just the time I've been here talking, this is the bottom that you see we just did just now, and it's dry. It's dry. I mean, I wouldn't put it back into service right now. I probably could put another coat on it right now, but I'm going to go ahead and set it aside until tomorrow. But you can see that it does dry quickly in an open container, in an open environment like this. If this tank was bolted together and you were turning it over and over, then you would have a whole different set of circumstances. You would have an enclosed area and it wouldn't dry as quick. All I'm saying, just give it a try. You really have to do this kind of stuff. Get a hands-on, form your own opinion. If it works for you, then you know it works. If it don't, then try something else. But anyways, I'm gonna set this aside to dry. I'll come back tomorrow and put another coat on it, and we'll carry on.